brother.
Isaiah 19:23. In that day shall there be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria, and the Assyrians shall come into Egypt, and the Egyptians into Assyria, and the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians.
Hey, once again, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash, the blood of the apostles, and the elders are great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessing to you, brothers. I approach this word in sincerity and in truth. You know, they are free brothers from GMS, and that we here to break out the bread through the spirit and power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. You know, we're just flowing with the spirit here. You know, the brothers reading for you.
Right, so this is Isaiah 19:23. In that day shall there be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria, and the Assyrian shall come into Egypt, and the Egyptians into Assyria, and the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians. Alright, now basically what is actually going into, right, are the children of Israel. Right, because what a lot of people don't know, in the time of King Solomon, right, when King Solomon sinned against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right, the kingdom was split into two. Alright, and the northern tribe back in the time, and Shalmaneser the fifth, he took the northern kingdom and carried them into Assyria, right? Somebody could get space. Is it Second Kings 17 or 18?
17. Start at verse 20.
Hallelujah.
This is the book of 2 Kings.
And start at 16. Because a lot of people, they don't know the history. Alright, this Zondervan Bible Dictionary here, the latest edition, they was talking about the split in the time that King Solomon went off. Alright, and Rehoboam his son and Jeroboam, Ephraimite, they went and they served idols. So the kingdom was split into two. Alright, and one people went up into Assyria. Alright, 17 and 16. Right, and after Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, came against Zedekiah in his reign, right, a lot of our people went into captivity in Babylon, but Nebuzaradan, the captain of the host, right, took a lot of people. You have to read with Jeremiah in the 20s or 40th chapter, right? Nebuzaradan left a lot of the Israelites in the land, but they ended up going into Egypt, and that is why in whereas 40s Jeremiah 44 talk about 44:16 talk about the people that dwell in the land of Egypt, that the Most High going and take their name out of his name out of their mouth. Alright, so our people were citizens in that land. That is why the Lord talking about they shall serve. Alright, so just read the 2 Kings 17.
Okay, the 2 Kings 17 verse 16. It says, and they left all the commandments of Yahweh their power, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the host of heaven, and served Baal.
Right, so and the person that actually alright, when you read 1 Kings 14:22 to verse 24, alright, the northern kingdom basically was more known for serving Baal. Alright, also found in 1631, 1 Kings 16:31 to 33, and also 18:14 to 13. Alright, go ahead.
Right? verse 17, it says, they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire and use divination and enchantment and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of Yahweh to provoke him to anger. Therefore Yahweh was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
Right, so the Most High removed Israel out of the land, right, and they went away into Assyria, right.
If I could just say, you know, I watched something with the brother Yatazak show me today, a video concerning with the Baptist, and they was praising Orishun, and they was dancing and singing by some side or some way, and which brother was
The river came down.
and the river came down. Unusual for a river that come down. You understand? But you can see people, you know, in awe and in this and in that, and they're going through the water and the thing, and yeah, because let me tell you something. The most I see, you're gonna get them strong delusion, and they're going to believe a lie.
That is right.
Scripture saying, the book of what is that? Habakkuk chapter 1 and 5 or 5 and 1, it says in that day, though it be told to you, you will not believe.
Kind of shall work
In the days that and you shall not believe.
Can't remember off of the
Now
top of
these
my head.
these people are on a different level.
Can.
And the most I working with Yahushai actually on the outskirts of the what do you call it? At the heavens.
Can.
And he are waiting the order to come down, and yet the people in
The strong delusion.
strong delusion
Can. This is Jeremiah 50:17. Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First, the king of Assyria had devoured him, and last is Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had broken his bones. Alright, so they went about into different kingdoms, as the scripture said. They were scattered throughout the four corners of the wind. Israel is in all the lands. That is why the Lord said in Isaiah 11, right, 11 to 15, right, he will stretch forth his hand a second time and gather the remnant from the four corners of the wind, from Patros, which is in Egypt, right, and different parts over throughout the whole earth. You understand? So our people are in all countries. Right now it have Israelites even in the land of Israel to this day. Our co-worker on where I work in, her husband and other people are even in land of Israel, which they're not supposed to be. Or some of them, because there are false teachers that was amongst them, you know, basically taught them the wrong thing. So it says, and the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians, right? Jeremiah 50 and verse 33. You could get.
Okay. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were pressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
Yes, so at no point in time, basically the Assyrians, right, in history, right, and guess what? It can't be talking about now because the Most High utterly destroyed the kingdom of Assyria. You understand? And he also weakened Egypt from being a great nation. But it's saying at no point in time, right, did the Assyrians serve slavery together with the Egyptians, right? So it's talking about the children of Israel because they were citizens in this land. They born and they grow there, but they are Israelites by nation. The land where you're born does not determine your nationality. Your father bloodline determines your nationality. What does determine apple is the seed, and the fruit tree that which it came from. That is why we even have a saying, the apple do fall far from the tree. Can you understand? So and the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians. In that day shall Israel be the third with Egypt, and with Assyria, even a blessing in the midst of the land, whom Yahweh of hosts shall bless, saying, Blessed be Egypt my people, and Assyria the work of my hands, and Israel mine inheritance. Right? And this is Isaiah 52 and verse 4. It says, and look how beautiful. I'll start at verse 1. The scripture says line must be upon line, precept upon precept. Right? Isaiah 52 and 1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion. Right? Hey, where they have to awake from? From being in that Gentile state of mind. So they could get 1 Corinthians from it. Where's that? 1 and 2. Hey, the scripture saying Isaiah 9, the people that dwell in darkness behold a great light. So there was light does wake you up. When you're sleeping in a bed and the sunlight beam on your eyes, it wake you up.
We don't sleep like us. Good.
Can you understand?
We up and we sober.
Can this is
1 Corinthians 1.
yeah, just but let me bring this first. This is Ezekiel 20, right? And verse 32. And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all, that ye say, we will be as the heathen, which what the Egyptians and the Assyrians are heathens, right? As the families of the countries to serve wood and stone. And the Egyptians and the Assyrians are known to serve wood and stone. Alright? So that will come into your mind shall not be, right? That he'll be as the, because guess what? One of the kings, I forgot his name, but he was the king of Judah, right? He sent up into Assyria and asked the priests to make the likeness of one of the idols that they had in Assyria, right? If it's not Assyria, it's Syria, right? It's two different
Province.
yeah, two different Semitic tribes, right? Because it have Asher, who is the Assyrians, and Aram, which is the Syrians, right? Yeah, 1 Corinthians 12.
Chapter 12.
Yeah, chapter 12. And verse 1 and 2.
1 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 1. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. Ye know that that ye were Gentiles carried away unto dumb idols, even as ye were led.
Yeah, ye were Gentiles carried away into the flesh. That's why the Lord saying, awake, awake, O Zion. Because we was once in that dead state of mind in sleep, as the prodigal, the story, the parable with the prodigal son.
You would say, as ye were led.
Can.
Right? So we were led into captivity. We were led on to worship these gods, these false idols. You know,
Can.
As a form of punishment, because the Lord told us that in the curses.
Psalms chapter 17 verse 14.
Bring it. On it.
Hey, this precept here. This is Luke 15 and verse 23. And bring hither the fatted calf and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found, and they began to be merry. You understand? So mainly this was speaking about the northern tribe at the time, the younger brother that sold his goods, right, to the faraway country, right? But now mainly it's speaking about the whole house of Israel. That is why the Lord said it was speaking about Yahushua in Hebrews chapter 1 and verse 4 or 7. It says, then again shall he be to me a son, and again I will be to him a father, right? Because we was led away, right? So we are, the Most High basically cast us off as being his son, right? Hosea 1 and 5, Lo ami, thou art not my people, but 1 and 11 said, in the place that it was said that ye are not my people, there it shall be said, ye are the sons of the living power, and that is the awakening.
That's right.
Right.
Psalms 17 verse 14.
Mhm.
It says, for men which are thy hand, O Yahweh, from men of the world which have their portion in this life.
So last, go up to 13.
13. It says, arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
Yeah, from the wicked which is thy sword, because guess what? What sword is? A sword is a piercing and a destructive, destructful weapon.
Punishment.
So yeah, the Mosai said that what this is Isaiah 10, right? Because he used the so-called white man to destroy us, to take our heritage, right? So we was destroyed spiritually, not knowing who we are, without bread. Isaiah 10 and 5, it says, O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger and the staff in their hand is my indignation. I will send him against an hypocritical nation, the Israelites, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like mare of the streets. And that is what he's doing down to this very day.
Okay.
You understand? And the prey was the Israelites, that transatlantic slave trade. Alright? So Isaiah 52 and 1 again, awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean, which are what? The other nations. Alright? Shake thyself from the dust. Shake thyself from outer confusion, that confused state of mind as an Ethiopian, as an Egyptian, as an Syrian,
Confusion.
From those different, as a Hindu or Baptist. Come out of that. Right? Arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion. For thus saith Yahweh, ye have sold yourselves for naught, and ye shall be redeemed without money. Right? So that is why he was talking about in Isaiah 19. Right? That they served together. They was in slavery. Right? Also going back into Jeremiah 50 and 33. Right? In that day shall there be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria, right? Reading over the 1923. Okay. And the Assyrians shall come into Egypt, and the Egyptians into Assyria, and the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians. And guess what? That actually speaking about the landmass, which is modern day America, Babylon. Because when you read the scriptures, anytime the scripture talk about Assyria, they talk about Egypt, they talk about Babylon. It's actually talking about America, one place. But main reason why it is called Babylon, because it's confusion, because the Egyptians or the Chaldeans that the scriptures talk about, Esau, Edom, the daughter of Babylon, they pick up the customs of all these other nations, right? But it's also known as Assyria, Egypt, and Babylon, and Sodom and Gomorrah, all right? So it says that they shall serve with the Assyrians, right? It says, going back into the 52, for thus said the Lord power, my people, which are the Israelites, went down aforetime into Egypt to sojourn there, to dwell there for a period of time, and the Assyrians oppressed them without cause. You understand? So our people went into Assyria, they went into Egypt, they were oppressed, all right? They pick up the customs from these other nations, all right? They were born in the land, so some of them, they grew up like if they was Assyrian, just like today. Hey, none of we here really actually Trinidadians. The land was called after whoever named Christopher Columbus and them give them, right? But really and truly by nation, by birth, we are Israelites, the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So, anybody here think that? Anybody here think that? I can. Hey, with that we hope it edifying towards you for elect, giving our praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash. Double honors to our elders and the apostles of greatness who will surely do well. salutations to each and every one of the Akim. The none that pushes without the insincerity and truth. Sincere Aqua to listen in silence to you. We say Shalawam, Mawat Lababal, Yaba Shami Oshai, Babakosha Maha.